This compilation follows one of the funniest and most chaotic relationships in Friends, Chandler Bing and Janice. Throughout the video, Chandler repeatedly tries to end his relationship with Janice, but every attempt spirals into awkward, over-the-top comedy because Janice always finds a way back into his life. The video begins with Chandler attempting yet another breakup. As usual, he completely falls apart under the pressure. Instead of calmly explaining his feelings, he stumbles over his words, panics, and makes the situation even more uncomfortable. Janice reacts with her signature dramatic personality, turning an already painful breakup into a hilarious emotional roller coaster. Chandler's friends watch in amusement as he struggles to keep himself together, proving once again that breaking up is one of his greatest weaknesses. Soon after, Chandler begins dating someone new and starts feeling surprisingly comfortable with the idea of commitment. He even jokes about taking trips together, meeting parents, and possibly moving in together. However, his excitement completely overwhelms his date, who becomes frightened by how quickly things are moving. Realizing he has scared her away, Chandler immediately regrets everything he said and hilariously describes himself as hopeless, awkward, and desperate for love. His inability to stay calm creates another unforgettable comedic moment. The story then shifts to Janice reconnecting with Chandler while she is still trying to repair her marriage. Chandler desperately wants her to choose him instead, but Janice ultimately decides to give her marriage another chance. Heartbroken, Chandler begs her to stay, creating one of the show's funniest emotional scenes. He even refuses to let her leave because he is literally holding one of her shoes. Despite his dramatic efforts, Janice walks away, leaving Chandler devastated. Later, Janice unexpectedly returns to Chandler's life once again. This time, Chandler becomes so desperate to escape the relationship that he invents one of the most ridiculous lies in sitcom history. He claims that his company is transferring him to Yemen. At first, Janice is saddened by the news, but insists on spending every possible moment with him before he leaves. Unfortunately for Chandler, the lie grows bigger and bigger until he has no choice but to commit to it. Janice helps him pack his luggage, accompanies him to the airport, and refuses to say goodbye until she physically sees him board the plane. Chandler desperately tries to buy a fake airline ticket, but the airline employee doesn't understand what he's asking for. With no other options left, Chandler actually purchases a real ticket to Yemen, simply to convince Janice that he's truly leaving. Even after he boards the plane, Janice surprises him by asking if she can come live with him in Yemen, leaving Chandler completely speechless. It's one of the most iconic and absurd comedy moments in the entire series. The compilation also includes Janice's brief romance with Ross Geller. Ross is still emotionally recovering from the collapse of his marriage and constantly complains about everything going wrong in his life. At first, Janice sympathizes with him, but eventually she reaches her limit. She bluntly tells Ross that she can't listen to his non-stop whining anymore and ends the relationship because he's simply too negative. Ross is shocked to learn that his constant complaining has driven someone away, making for another classic comedic exchange. Near the end of the video, Janice returns once again, this time as Monica and Chandler are preparing for their future together. Monica cleverly lies to Janice by claiming Chandler still has deep feelings for her, hoping it will convince Janice to stay away. Janice is deeply touched and decides to leave, wishing the couple happiness while joking that Chandler should call her if the relationship ever falls apart. Just when everyone thinks Janice is finally gone for good, another surprise appears. She and her husband consider buying the house next door to Monica and Chandler. Horrified by the idea of having Janice as a permanent neighbor, Chandler creates one final outrageous plan. He secretly pretends that he still loves Janice and suggests they start a secret affair behind their spouses' backs. Instead of encouraging the fantasy, Janice is shocked by Chandler's proposal. Believing he's serious, she decides that moving next door would be a terrible idea and abandons the purchase. Chandler's ridiculous scheme works perfectly, and he celebrates one last victory over the never-ending Janice saga. Overall, this compilation showcases why Chandler and Janice remain one of the funniest recurring relationships in Friends. Chandler's awkward personality, endless panic, and unbelievable attempts to escape commitment perfectly clash with Janice's loud, emotional, and persistent nature. Every encounter between them turns into pure comedy, filled with unforgettable one-liners, embarrassing misunderstandings, and iconic moments that have made these episodes fan favorites for decades.